Welcome to Red V TV, supported by Chapel House Cars for the 2026 season. And we are here to preview our number 18, as there are only 18 days to go before the start of the Super League season. So it can only mean one thing, Kevin.
It's Jake Wingfield's turn.
The positives, Kevin. He made 17 appearances last season, up from 10 in 2023, 9 in 2024. So 17 appearances from Jake last season. Um, Much improved in terms of availability, but some absolutely horrendous injuries he's suffered through no fault of his own. Yes, he did miss some time with the knee injury, which was just that was at Wakefield, wasn't it, when he got that?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I'm really, really happy that we've retained Jake Wingfield in our squad. I think when Jake Wingfield is fully fit, he's someone who you look to have on your bench to come on.
Yeah, I think there is no secret that I am a big Jake Wingfield fan and what he brings to our first team, because I think his work rate, his effort is brilliant. And I think he gets himself stuck in and can almost like he's one of them that you kind of I'd hang my hat on Jake Wingfield when he's fit. You can clip a lot of what I said about Lewis Murphy here, though, that it's not necessarily his fault he keeps getting injured, but he's now got the challenge of we have lost Morgan Knowles and we are looking for a long term 13. I know Joe Shorrocks has come into the club, but this is your chance, Jake. This is your chance to, over this season, show what you can do and show that you could be that number 13 for us. Um, I make you right with regards to 17. I love him being in the 17. Um, I, and I will always say I'm not necessarily a massive fan of him at 9.
Well, Kev, what I will say is he your number 18 or is he your 1+8?
um, yeah, do you know what? He probably is that.
Is
Can
he a
give.
better option than Jake Burns at 9?
Oh, possibly defensively, but I'm not sure on the front foot that I would say that, because when you're playing 9, it's it's a very specialised skill. Burns
Okay,
can pass off the
let me
side of
change the
the
question then. Is
Okay.
Jake Wingfield a better option to come off the bench to relieve Darrell Clark at 9 than use Jake Burns in that bench spot?
Probably because he gives you that versatility.
Because
I think
potentially
his
as well,
versatility
if
when
you've
he's
got
through.
Jake Shorrocks on the bench,
Yeah,
or for example, if Wingy starts at 13, you've got the options then of bringing Shorrocks on at 9, or bringing Shorrocks on at 13 and moving Wingy into 9.
yeah. As I say, I'm not a massive fan of that anyway. I'm not a massive fan of the throwing utility forwards in at 9. I'm, I, I'll say that as long as we do this channel, and I've said it for as long as we've done this channel. But I feel like sometimes needs must. And to be fair, he hasn't let us down, has he? Did he play there against? Did he have to play there against Leeds in that
I
6
think
0
so.
win? Um, and he doesn't let us down. It's just not a long term option for me for Jake to be 9, because I think his skill set is better elsewhere in the pack.
Yeah, absolutely. Jake Wingfield, uh, the vote of confidence in him, keeping him as a Saint for the next 3 years. And I know there was interest from Lee as well.
Yeah,
Potentially, obviously, Jake Lee lad originally. And there was strong rumours that Lee had offered him a big deal. So Saints did well to get him to put pen to paper to stay at the club.
yeah, and maybe that's a little bit of a two-way street there, that Saints have stuck by him and seen him through his rehab, and it's a case of him kind of repaying the club, but the club also having that faith in Jake Wingfield, and it is good to see, because, as I say, I'm a big Jake Wingfield fan. I genuinely hope that he can have a couple of good injury-free years, and the only time that he's missing is maybe because he's clattered Sunday on Good
Yeah,
Friday or something
but
like that.
I will point out we have learned lessons from previous years and getting stung a little bit. So those 2027 and 2028, that deal is dependent on appearances as well.
Yeah, yeah, which
So
is fair.
So
Yeah,
it's incentivized as well for him,
yeah,
which is a little bit, yeah, not only staying fit, but making sure you're good enough to get in the team as well.
yeah, exactly. And that's a big thing. And with regards to staying in the team, if Jake Wingfield kind of hits the heights as he has started to show, there is no reason for him not to be in and around the 17 and
I would
make those
imagine as
appearances.
well, the appearances won't be like saying you've got to play 20 games because you have to account for injuries. I'm assuming it's going to be like 12, between 12 and 15. So you're not a long-term injury to guarantee. I'm assuming it's dependent on what the injury is as well, or why you're missing from the team.
Yeah,
The Saints will obviously be able to trigger it in their favour if they want to
yeah.
anyway.
I think you're right because it may well be it's an X amount of percent when you are available to play. So take out because it's just say for example he did wallop somebody on Good Friday. We all give it a cheer, but he gets a 3 game ban. It's a bit harsh to go. Well, you've missed 3 games there, and it end up being the difference between him getting a deal or not when
Yeah.
pretty much the Saints fans have
You've
carried him
missed
shoulder high.
you've missed out on your deal by one appearance because we rested you the week before Wembley.
Yeah, but the Saints fans have carried you shoulder high through the town centre for absolutely banjoing someone. Yeah, I don't think it'll be something more akin to we'll have a sit down and we'll have a sensible conversation about it. You'd have thought.
Okay, that's our number 18, Jake Wingfield, and we will be back tomorrow as we move into the 17. Catch you soon.